Hello everyone. So today we have a special guest. As you can see, it's a special video because this month we are reading The Wizard of the Crow by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And since Ngugi wa Thiong'o is a Kenyan writer, and here Mike is Kenyan, I thought that we could have a bit of a conversation about Kenya. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm from Kenya, as she said. My name is Mike, and this is my wife. And like she mentioned, I am from a small East African country called Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to share with you the little knowledge that I grew up knowing about my country. Yeah.
So, where do you want to start? Do you want to start a bit by explaining
The location?
The location, for example?
Yeah, because I don't know how many people can point that in the map.
Yeah,
if you just bring the map of the
I can put a map here.
Yeah. So, then anyway, Kenya is one of the countries located in East African part of the continent, and it is just bordering Tanzania on the south, Uganda on the
East and
west, yes, on the west.
Yes.
North there is Ethiopia, and there is Rwanda,
a little bit of
Rwanda,
Somalia.
Bujumbura,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of
No.
Burundi. They are located on that side, yes, on the northwest part, and that's Sudan is a little bit more north past Ethiopia.
Yeah.
But on the Horn of Africa, right where the Horn of Africa is, that's where Kenya is. And we are a Swahili-speaking country.
Mm-hmm.
And by Swahili, I am talking of Hakuna Matata, which is a familiar phrase you might have already heard somewhere, or maybe used it, and it means no worries, which is a Swahili for what we grew up with. And we also have English as a national language there. Currency-wise, shillings, that's what we use.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back first to before we talk about anything about money, because I don't want to bring that. But let me talk about the languages. We have over 40 communities living in Kenya now, and these 40 communities speak different languages, and we luckily happen to have a medium language to understand each other and coexist together in society, which is Swahili. And I speak personally. My mother tongue is Kamba.
Mm-hmm. And for example, this book was written in Kikuyu.
Yes, Kikuyu is another language, which is the current president is also from the member of that community.
Mm-hmm.
And we have other languages like the Luos, the Kisis, the Luyas, Masais, Kalenjin, and the list goes on and on and on. So
and when was Kenya founded?
Well, Kenya still existed even before anybody founded it. It still existed.
Let's say when it was recognized by the UN as a separate country.
So let's just go a little bit back to the history. I was not born there yet, but if I was born, that would be great.
You're an old man.
Yeah, I will for sure give you an essay and overview of what happened. But it was a former British colony, and as you can tell from my English accent, no, it's not a British accent, but we are a British colony, and we gained independence in 1963 from the British, and they left the country in charge of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, who was the first president of the Republic of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also one of the freedom fighters for the country, and he'd been with the Mau Mau warriors who were like fighting for independence with the Dedan Kimathi and other more people who fought for the independence of Kenya from the British colony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then after Jomo Kenyatta died, then Moi took over?
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna get a little bit politics. So
I think
Kenyatta
it's
passed on in
important because this
19.
book is a lot of about politics and stuff, and I think it's based largely on Moi.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll share the little politics I know. I hope my statements are politically correct. And yeah, anything you hear, yeah, you have to confirm with me. Ask me to verify, not anybody else. But anyway, yeah. In 1978, I believe that's the time that Kenyatta passed on, and then Moi took over, who was the vice president by then, and. Because Kenyatta was from the Kikuyu community. Then Moi took over, and he was from the Nandi community, which is another tribe in Kenya, and he took over from the time that Kenyatta was deceased until he ruled for over 20 years. He was there for a very long time, and nobody said anything. There was no multi-party system yet, and multi-party system came later, and other parties were able to contest against the KANU, which was undefeated, obviously, for some obvious reasons. Moi kept winning. Moi kept winning until he ruled Kenya for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were just under the impression that maybe Moi is gonna just rule Kenya like the other East African presidents, like Museveni in Uganda. We have heard of Mugabe in Zimbabwe. These people have these presidents have been in those seats for a long time, and we were in the impression that he was gonna rule the country for longer than until maybe but fortunately there was another contestant from a party called NAC came in. His name was Kibaki, who was now the third president. He was elected and took over from Moi. So we had three somewhere in the 2000s, yeah. And yeah, I was still growing up. I was still getting to introduce myself into politics a little bit. And money, because I remember when Kibaki became president, we had a coin. He introduced a Kenyan coin. We are not supposed to change currency, but these presidents changed. Of course, everybody wants to print his name. We'll talk about currency again. Everybody wanted, like a president, you become a president, you want always to print your name or your picture in the currency, just to show that I am. This is the legal tender of the country, and I am in charge of the country. So we had the Kenyatta printed on the Kenyan currency, which is actually currently the current.
But they have 1,000 shillings with Moi.
Yeah, we also had Moi. Moi came in with his currency. I remember I even swallowed a very big coin. It was 10 cents. I swallowed it when I was little, and I didn't like money for some time. After that,
did you realize it was useful?
Yeah. So then I didn't like it, but then after that. Kibaki came in and he introduced the 40 shilling coin, the only 40 shilling coin that we have ever had.
Yeah, and right now, like 100 shillings is about a euro.
Yes.
It's to give an idea.
Yes. So in international stock market, it will be around 115 euros.
Yeah, something.
One euro is 115 shillings, Kenyan shilling, and. Yeah, so then the 40 shillings coin that Kibaki introduced was actually to celebrate 40 years of independence. So that's why it came out, and I don't know if it was an excuse to have his face on the money. I don't know. I really don't know. We will never know. Then after that, now the Kibaki was. Of course, getting to a point where he needs to retire, and of course there was other new contestants. Unfortunately, we had the son of the first president, who's the current president now, Uhuru Kenyatta. Yeah, Uhuru means freedom, by the way. It's a Swahili word. We are going to learn a lot of Swahili words here and there as we continue. I hope. And so Uhuru means freedom, and his father was the first president, and now he vied for presidency and he got it. And since then, he's been president up to now. He's still the president. He's they say he's a man of the people, and he's working with communities. I don't want to get into political campaigns. I don't want to campaign for anybody, but yeah, he's the current president up to now.
Yeah.
And he's from the Kikuyu community. Him and Kibaki were from the Kikuyu community. So apparently Kenya has had 4 presidents who have, or 3 of them have been from the Kikuyu community. 1 of them is from the Nandi community. The next one we don't know. Maybe we might have a new president from a new community.
When were the elections?
So every 5 years, of course, a republic, but
it's soon, right?
Yeah, they happen. I really don't keep track a lot of the elections, but in 5 years, of course, we always have elections. I normally follow the news just to know what's going on, because we happen to have post-election violence in 2007, which was something that was very big in Kenya and across the world. So
there were a lot of fights again from tribes to tribes, and a lot of people were killed in 2007 because of the results of the elections. Yeah,
so what happened is, they say that somebody was not very fair, and some people say that those who are in the country in 2007, they say that it was there was an election going on.
Sorry guys, the battery died, so we had to charge it like an hour later or something. But we were talking about religion in Kenya. I also wanted to talk a little bit about superstitions and witch doctors and all this kind of thing.
Yeah, black cats. Let me start with black cats.
Yeah.
In Kenya, there is a very big belief. Black cats are associated with evil. In Mombasa, you don't touch a black cat, for example. Mombasa is the coastal part of the country. And that's also where we had the biggest port of trade. When the Portuguese came to trade in Kenya, they used the port of Mombasa.
Yeah, the main 3 cities is Nairobi, which is the capital, Mombasa, which is in the coast, and Kisumu, which is in the western part next to Uganda. Yeah,
it's there's a big lake there in Kisumu called Lake Victoria. That's where we get our tilapia from. So superstition. People believe a lot, in Kenya especially, people believe that if there is evil spirits or witchcraft and all these things somewhere, they are really, 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 really dangerous. And these things are things maybe in the Western societies, they will not even be an issue. So somebody will say that somebody is looking at you with a bad eye, and they might want to do something to harm you. They might put something like, even like an egg, break an egg on your door, and that will be a big deal. So people will believe that that's associated with black magic. Black cats, when I was talking about black cats, these are things I grew up to now. I always think, why did we really fear black cats? But it's because people say that black cats are evil spirits, and they are kind of free spirits that haunt people. And I remember when we were little, we went to Mombasa, and the first time I was 12 years old, I saw a black cat, and I asked my mom, "Mom, is that the genie that you are saying and the evil spirit you are saying?" My mom said, "Shh, do not talk about it. Do not even point it. Do not even say anything." And then I was so scared. Since then, I was like, I'm not going to say anything anytime I see a black cat, but I'm going to traumatize myself and think about it in my brain. Just think about the idea that this is a very dangerous animal, and at the moment it's not harmful. A cat is just a cat, but the fact that we had these strong beliefs, it was something else, and I grew up being scared of black cats for that particular reason.
Yeah, and also, I mean, that witch doctors, there's a lot of people that go to witch doctors.
Yes. So now in Kenya, you'll even see it in Nairobi, you will see, or even other cities, you'll see there's a lot of traditional medicine men. We'll call them, Mganga. Mganga is somebody who is a witch doctor, but he also kind of treats different diseases. But in Nairobi, you'll find posters everywhere with phone numbers of a witch doctor that specializes in treating whatever it is you want.
Yeah, like if you someone give you a bad eye, or if you cannot get pregnant with a baby, now, or whatever it is.
These guys treat everything.
Yeah.
Everything. They treat everything. They even treat to look for a job.
Yeah.
These guys treat to even they treat to find somebody who got lost.
Yeah.
They treat these guys treat everything. I don't remember anything that was missing in that list of illnesses. They treat basically everything. Yeah. They treat even somebody who's waking up without feeling the energy to wake up. And
they give different concussions and like like herbs and things. And
now the things they
rituals.
give, the things they give are okay. They are weird. But the things that they ask you to bring for their service, because some of them don't take money.
Yeah.
They rarely take money, some of them, because they say money has been touched by many people and it can have different spirits from different people. So some of them, okay, most of them, they ask for weird things, but the most common thing that they will ask is a chicken. They will say, go find me a black chicken with maybe green wings. Go find me, an old underwear and bring that, and go find a small razor blade and a nail cutter, a small branch from the top of the tallest tree in your neighborhood. I don't get it, but people believe in these things and they go and bring them. Because these guys, they will ask you for these things, especially if they know that you have a certain issue. Like, for example, if you have money problems, they will maybe tell you to go bring your old pants and remove the pockets inside out. Just put them out, and then this guy is the one who's going to come and put them in. But before he puts them in, he has to do a ritual or something. And then as soon as he puts them in and everything, he's going to tie with a string or something, tell you, maybe give you instructions, do not touch it. Take it and put it on top of your cupboard somewhere where kids cannot see it or touch it, and put it in a plastic bag, a black one. It has to be a black, so that nobody can see it.
But they cannot ask for plastic bags anymore because
plastic bags were banned in Kenya, so it's illegal. You get a very big fine.
Because of the contamination that they cause. Like people don't tend to put all the things in the trash. They just put them outside and burn them, or just leave them in the neighborhood. So
now it's illegal.
That's why they ban plastic.
It's illegal to have plastic ban. Actually, the city council are the people who enforce this plastic ban fines.
Yeah.
But the way they do it, these guys are very happy. Even police, they do it. But the city council, because they are plain, they don't have uniform. It will be just random strangers with suits and tuxedos just chasing you and grabbing you and lifting you up in the sky and carrying you and throwing you in the truck because they saw you with a plastic bag. So for those who are traveling for any safaris or any trip in Kenya, you will even be told in the plane beforehand, plastic bags are banned. So don't bring any plastic bags in Kenya. They are completely banned. You will be, even the airport police will be the ones who will take your first money.
Yeah.
They will tell you, hey, speak nicely. By speaking nicely is you have to pay them something, and then they will.
There's a lot of. There's a big corruption, of course, like the politicians, but there's also.
Well, they call it monetary gifts,
but
because
they also have a lot of that goes all the way to the small scale. Like the policemen will tell you, kitu kidogo, which means like something small to give them like a few euros so that they don't stop you in certain blocks or things like that. They will try to make you lose time so that you give them money. Yeah,
and they used to say they want you have to buy them chai.
Yeah,
chai is tea.
Yeah.
But the hidden meaning was, do not bring them a cup or a mug of tea like this. You don't get them this. This is not gonna work. This is not gonna rescue you. My friend gave them a cup one time and the other flask in the car, and we were stopped one time. And, this guy poured tea on the cup, was looking at the guy, was holding the cup, was looking at the guy.
It's not what they wanted.
And the cop told him, this is not the tea that I was asking for. But he drank it. And as soon as he drank it, he finished it. He asked for more, and then he started talking to the guy and asking him, how many years have you lived in Kenya and you don't know what tea means?
It means
Then,
bribe.
yeah, so basically that's what it means. And yeah, they accept it, and some of them call it monetary gift, but because I mean, even in the matatu is the public transport. We don't have bus, this like trams and we have buses, but we have privatized transport systems,
which are like little vans for like 50
disco
people.
buses also.
Yeah, sometimes they have very loud music,
beautifully colored, like Christmas trees.
Very decorated.
Very decorated. They are hyped.
Yeah.
So they have very good sound systems. You will be entertained, and almost all seats in the matatu, especially the manyanga, the newer ones. They have DVD screens.
Yeah.
No, actually not even DVD screens. They have just normal screens, so you can basically
like the planes.
Yes.
Like they have like screens in every seat.
Exactly.
And they they drive like crazy.
Well, yeah, these guys try to hurry up.
Because there was one time I was in a matatu, and they just because there was a traffic jam, they decided to go on the pedestrian, and they were just like going, I don't know, maybe 50 kilometers per hour in the pedestrian, and people were running on both sides because otherwise they would be run over.
Yeah,
they are crazy.
The reason why they drive that fast is because these jobs they pay them by a squad, and a squad is the end destination and the starting destination. So from the point of picking passengers to where you drop them, that's already one route, one round, one trip. So then you're paid by number of trips that you make. So if you make many, you get paid more. So that means
you're supposed to always be full. So
yes, the matatu has to be full before it goes. Before, a while ago, recently they just enforced the matatu rules that it's not allowed to be overcrowded. But before, one matatu which is made for 28 passengers at least, it will be packed up to almost 50 passengers. People will be standing there, others will be hanging on the door, others or everywhere. Like, it was so crazy with our transport system. But there was a minister of transport, a guy called Michuki. Unfortunately, he passed on. He is the one who introduced some of the new safety measures in the public transport. He kind of helped demarcate the matatus, put like a yellow line to show that this is public transport, it's not a private transport, because they were just like any other vehicles, and they could not distinguish them with the private owned transports and others, and they made them be registered in under circles.
Yeah, and also the matatus have two people that run them, the driver who has to wear now a blue suit, and the makanga, which is the person that calls the passengers over, because as I said, like
they say beba, which means carry, but
and that's the guy also collects the money, and like you can tell them I'm stopping here, so he tells the driver, things like that.
And in Kenya, by the way, you cannot pin. You won't pay with your card, you pay cash, and they will be holding the notes here and the coins on the hand.
They fold them on the long side and they put them here.
This is matatus in Kenya, the only place where a stranger will just tap you in the shoulder, and you will know what that means. Because when they tap you like this, and they are seated behind you, or maybe they are walking behind you, or just shake the coins in front of you, you will know what they mean. And then you give them.
And if you're white, they will overcharge.
Of course, if you look if you look like not very native, of course there's a lot of British settlers and other foreign nationals who reside there. They know Swahili maybe, and some of them know how things work around there. But if you are new, you have to try to be with a local, especially boarding public transport, so that
know how much the trip is in advance, so that you can call them off.
It's pretty cheap, by the way. It's really cheap. Even if they overcharge you, you won't even feel it in a way, because
like if you don't know, you will not know. But if you do know, it's annoying.
Because one trip already paying €1. Muzungu is a white person. And when they overcharge you, it will be like more than €1 already. That's know that you are overcharged, especially if you are commuting within the city. Because that's already like
like I mean the money is not the thing. Like maybe in a trip that is supposed to be 30 cents, I will charge you 60. So it's like, okay, it's not a lot of money.
But
it's
if you do that often, then you'll be losing a lot of money to these people.
Like, it just doesn't feel good that you're overcharging me every time, and I know you're overcharging me. Stop that.
So remember to ask for change also if you pay with big bills, because sometimes you can even locals, you give a big bill and the makanga just takes your money, you will go with it. It's not gonna give you the change instantly, but some of them will give you instantly.
It depends also if they have change or not.
Yeah, it also depends if they have change or not. They can stop somewhere before they pick passengers. It runs to a shop to go to break the big bill that you've given. The biggest bill in Kenya, Kenyan currency, is 1,000 shillings, which is equivalent to €10.
Yeah, it's roughly 10 euros.
Yeah, a little bit over $10. But if you give them 1,000 shillings, especially because that's a big bill, then be careful with the change. You have to make sure that the balance that you receive, it's okay. It's otherwise they might not give you the correct balance. Those are matatus in Kenya, and you will hear them say bebas, beba, which is very common. And again, another thing with matatus, we used to have them not stop in. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. So in the time when somebody is coming off, like getting off alighting the matatu, they will
just go slower.
Just go slower, not stop, because sometimes there is no need to stop because the journey has to continue and this trip has to
go. Have to go fast.
So especially if you have already paid, you have paid for the trip, for the seat. So the way you get out, it's up to you sometimes, but sometimes they will stop completely.
Especially if you're asking to stop somewhere where there's no one to be picked up. Because if you are stopping in somewhere where it's picked and they can pick up someone else, you can stop and get someone else.
It makes more sense if there's people out there who want to go with this matatu, because they always compete. It's all owned by different people. Each matatu is owned by a different person, and they all want to make money. So in the end, they will try to compete and stop where there is passengers. If there is a passenger in the next stop and you are telling them to stop here, they will get you off in the next stop, not here where you want to get off. Especially if there is nobody there in the stop where you want to get off. Sometimes it's crazy because they are rushing to get the passengers. And I learned to do something called kudondoka, because kudondoka is to get on or get off, especially to get off, to alight the matatu while it's moving. And I learned that when I was very little, because that was apparently how our transport system was.
And the other topic that I wanted to talk a little bit about, and then we are done, I think, is about the position of women in Kenyan society. Because I think my impression is that in Kenya, women, I mean, there is the traditional roles, but women are very strong and they don't take any shit from anyone.
Well, in Kenya is also still evolving, and as one of the developing nations, we are still trying to prioritize a lot of things for women. Traditionally, we had this idea that for a family, of course, maybe feminists will not like this, but this is true in Kenya. The male members of the families were more dominant, and it's still visible in many communities. And women were seen as inferior, and they will be seen as people who are supposed to only do housework and help in the house. Some of them were not even educated. They will not be even taken to the schools, because some communities felt like there was no need to educate a woman, and the only thing that a woman can do is just to get married off. And what happens is when they get married is there's something called a dowry, and dowry is the exchange for a certain number of cattle, or it can even be goats or whatever, but a certain number of cattle in exchange for the lady who's getting married, and this cattle is given to the family of the lady, and the father of the lady is the one who asks for this cattle, and and the your dad could not ask for it.
Well, there was a guy
cannot
that
fit
offered like 40 cows for me.
So-
in Masai.
So yeah, so that was the way we could weigh the worth of a woman in that traditional setting in Kenya, and apparently now it's still changing, and I'm glad that there's a lot of uprising, a lot of communities.
Yeah.
They have brought a lot of awareness into educating the girl child, trying to
Yeah.
make sure that they get equal chances in jobs. Parliament also, politically there was no women,
Yeah.
but now there is a lot of women in the government offices. There is also women representatives in Nairobi, for example.
Yeah, and there
And,
are a lot of women that study, and
Yeah.
I think Kenyan women are very strong, and
So-
I think that they have taken over what they want to do.
It is true. It is so. There is a lot of the voices of women are now being heard so much, especially recently that there is a lot of laws that are protecting women, and also trying to make sure that they do not get violated or discriminated in working institutions.
Yeah.
Maybe academic institutions. They try to make sure that everything is equal, and even when you look at some communities that say their women, like the Maasais will say, yeah, women, their job is to stay home, take care of the kids and everything. It's now changing now.
Yeah.
So some men are staying home, taking care of the kids, and women are working,
Yeah,
growing
there's
stuff.
also
And,
this community, this matriarchal society that was founded. I don't know why.
it's in the Maasai community. They started a community of women
Yeah.
to kind of empower them and
Yeah, they just
start
live
businesses,
together and,
live together, try to. It was actually a community that was solely women, and they were trying to
Yeah.
show that they are capable of doing everything on
Like
their
some
own.
of them had husbands, so their husband could not live with them.
They are not
They were
allowed.
living
Men were
somewhere
not allowed
outside.
to go into this
Yeah, and
community.
you also told me that in the canvas, like when a woman doesn't have a partner, they can partner with another woman.
Yeah, that would be something called eweto in my language. Eweto means you can kind of have somebody else as a woman who can be helping you. You can live together
Yeah.
and basically support each other the same way an ordinary couple would do. But the other thing I was going to talk about is a bit about sexuality. I don't know if this is important, but Kenya is also still evolving, and now we still have a struggle socially, but it's more accepted than other nations in Africa, I think, to have gay couples and lesbian couples.
Yeah.
So this is something that is still being slowly accepted.
Yeah.
But it is very, very, very down looked upon in Kenya.
Yeah, there was a movie in, I think 2019 from Kenya called Rafiki, which is about two women falling in love.
Yeah, and people would not talk about being gay in public and stuff like that, because it's not something that is traditionally accepted by the African communities.
Yeah,
and
also because of the religion, I think.
And religion also plays a big part. It plays a big part on this, because they say in Muslim, Islam religion, it's not allowed for somebody to be gay. Also Christianity, it's the same debate, Adam and Eve or Adam and Steve. I don't know. It's a big thing that is still alive in Kenya.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot of organizations that are raising a lot of awareness, a lot of.
I think that especially in the cities, it's changing now.
There is the girl community in Kenya, gay and lesbian community in Nairobi. Mm-hmm. I did some projects earlier with them with some German friends who visited me while I was in Nairobi. And we did some documentaries to try to talk about it more and get to hear people's opinions and also try to reason with the locals on how it works in other places, other countries, and also like if you remember, I mean, Kenya is doing pretty good. I would say pretty good in accepting these things, and
I mean there are other places where it's smart.
Yeah, now for example, let me give you. Even leave alone Uganda, Zimbabwe. Let's go to Zimbabwe. For Zimbabweans who are watching this, do not. This is something that I saw. I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw it on media, social media somewhere. That Mugabe, when Obama was talking about we should accept gays and stuff like that, Mugabe said this, and I don't know, but Mugabe said that. If Obama wants gays and to be allowed and everything, then he should come and he marries him for 1 month. And if Mugabe marries Obama for 1 month, then gays and lesbians are allowed in Zimbabwe. And so it's, those kind of mentalities are still very much alive in people, and people really look down upon gays and lesbians, and it's still developing, but the mentality is changing slowly, and gradually maybe people accept these people's sexual orientation, and maybe it might get better.
I think so. I think it will get better.
Yeah, there's a lot of things and stereotypes also associated with being gay also, because some people say it's you are somebody did witchcraft on you to kind of change your interest in the opposite sex, and it's weird because people believe in these things. People believe in superstition a lot, and some people will take you to church, try to say, it's a problem. Need to fix this kid of mine. They have this problem and this, and of course, pastors are very believed in Kenya. They will pray for the person and try to do whatever and ask for money. Again, pastors are very rich in Kenya.
Yeah, pastors very rich. Have a lot of money.
Very, very, very rich, because you give offerings, and your offerings. There is a 3310. Was it 3310? Yeah, no. 310 shillings. That was a random number that some pastors came up with. They say this is the magical number for the seeds you are supposed to plant for, the holy seeds you are supposed to plant for God or the man of God, and then something good will happen to you. So, people brought their kids to church to kind of try to fix this problem, but I don't know. I think the mentality is still changing slowly and slowly. And also there's a lot of weird jokes and stuff like that. People are also getting a lot of information about these communities, and awareness is really sinking in, especially in the urban settings. So I hope that with time things will get better. But other than that, going back to women, I think there is a very big role that is played by women, especially now that there's a lot of women empowerment projects, and they are really stern on their stance. They don't really take bullshit. I think Kenyan women, they don't take bullshit.
I don't think so.
I think they will be straightforward on you, and they'll tell you, this is nonsense, this is nonsense, this is nonsense. They don't beat around the bush. But it is a community that is growing from very old era. We are still growing from that and trying to come up with ways to make the society better. And I'm glad that these things are happening now. There's a lot of women in political positions. There is a lot of representation in a lot of organizations as women CEOs. And
I think in many cases more than in Europe. When I went to the university, for example, in this physics department, there were several women working there, more than in my group here in the Netherlands. So I think in that sense they are as equal as it is here.
Yeah, it is very common. It's really, really common to right now in this modern days to find a lot of women in yes, very senior positions, and I hope maybe I don't know we might even have sometime a woman president in Kenya, but
Yeah.
who knows? Yeah, no, well, I think I've just shared a small outlook of Kenya,
Yeah.
overview of yeah the country.
Yeah.
And maybe the best thing I can recommend is after Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Important.
if things go well, just make some time, and maybe in the future we'll also be talking. I might talk about some other things. If depends on what questions
guys,
people ask.
if you guys have questions or something, let them in the comments below or something, or in the Discord, and if there are enough of them, we can make another video answering those questions about Kenya.
Yeah.
If anyone has. So yeah, I think that wraps it up.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, let us know if you have any more thoughts. If you have ever been in Kenya, or if you know anything more, or again, if you have questions, let us know. And also give him some love.
Yeah, so karibu Kenya. Karibu is another word, your last Swahili word for the day. It means welcome. Welcome.
Yes.
Karibu means welcome. So welcome to Kenya. After Corona, and the day comes, just make a trip there and visit the place. It's beautiful. There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
And you will for sure not regret it. You'll have a lifetime fun, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's all. And bye.
Bye. Wait for the water boil. Add some flour now. I'm going to make a big ugali
because you're craving it, because we just talked about it.
it's what happens when you talk about ugali. Almost there. Some more flour. Increase the consistency. This one.
Otherwise, it's Tanzanian ugali.
Yeah. This will be Tanzanian by now. It's ready. Tanzanians will add more flour because they don't want it to be hard.
They want it to be soft. But Kenyans, we want it to be heavy.
Almost ready.
That is really hard now.
Huh?
That is
Get in
really
there.
hard to turn like you're doing now.
Yeah. Let it first stay for a bit. Dip it in some water just so that it prevents the ugali from sticking. Then, if you can, not try this at home. Only if you can, try to flip it with your hand. But only if you can, but not do it. Yeah. To get it like that.
Only if you can, but do not. Nice enough, try this.
Make it like this. It's like a cake now. This is looking ready almost. Take the plate, put it on top, and flip it like this. Your ugali is ready. Happy birthday. It's like a cake.
Mm. Ugali.
This is Luya's PlayStation. It's very nice.
Mm. They will have it with fish, though. We're having it with veggies.
Luya's will have it with skuma and morenda and then
Sukuma is like vegetables, similar to spinach.
Yes, so just a little bit of that. Some veggies.
The veggies are not necessarily Kenyan.
These ones are very European. This is not something you'll find in Kenya. So, yeah, some tiny bit of salt. The way you eat it, your hands have to be clean. I washed mine. So you cut a small chunk. You normally will eat it with nyama choma, meat.
Mm-hmm.
But
And sukuma.
then you start squeezing it in your hand into a small ball like that. Take a small chunk of veggie or whatever, put it on top there. Look at where the magic happens.
Da-da!
Wow.